Hello, my name is Leah Sugarman. Welcome to your back strengthening class. For this practice, start lying down on your back and bend your knees to plant your feet flat onto the floor, roughly hip distance apart. Relax the weight of your shoulders down into the mat. Maybe take a moment to soften your gaze or close your eyes. Just bring some awareness to your back body. Draw your attention to your breath and notice how your breath moves into your back. With every inhale, feel your back expand down against the floor. And with every exhale, feel it gently lift up away from the mat. Keep your awareness on your space and slowly open your eyes if you've closed them. Root down firmly against your feet. Ground them down against the floor and energetically squeeze your legs toward each other. So without movement, just hug them into the midline. Root down firmly against your shoulders, and as you inhale, slowly peel your hips up off the floor and lift just one bone at a time as you roll all the way up toward a bridge pose. And then as you exhale, just reverse that, slowly lower one bone down at a time to release your middle back, lower back, and then finally your pelvis back down to the floor. Do this again, root down into your feet and your shoulders and lift your hips and slowly peel one bone off the floor at a time. And then as you exhale, slowly lower one bone down at a time. And continue to move like this. Follow your own breath and really try to articulate each bone, each joint in the spine so that you can really move each bone in isolation. Notice how your breath moves through this rhythm, through this movement in your body. Notice how your breath fills your back body as you lift and lower. Now take one more breath. And the next time your hips are lifted, keep them there. Ground down firmly into your feet, root firmly into your shoulders. And you have the option to stay as you are, or if you'd like to, you can slide one shoulder underneath you at a time, and then either hold onto something behind your back, like a yoga strap or a towel, or interlace your fingers behind you. Hug your shoulder blades toward each other, expand and open your chest. Keep grounding down against your feet to lift your hips maybe just a little bit higher. Feel the activation through the back side of your body. Notice what's going on throughout your whole back. Notice how your breath flows through it. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, release your hands from behind you if they're there and slowly lower all the way back down onto the floor. Bend your knees deeply, draw them in towards your chest. If it feels nice, stay in stillness. If you'd like to, you can sway your hips gently from side to side. Give your back a little bit of a massage. And then take your hands behind your knees and slowly rock and roll along the length of your whole spine to massage your whole back body and gain a little bit of momentum so that you can rise up into a seat and then cross your ankles and roll forward onto all fours. So stack your shoulders roughly over your wrists, stack your hips roughly over your knees, and lengthen through the crown of your head as you simultaneously reach back through your tailbone. Three-dimensionally draw in around your whole waistline. Imagine you're tightening a corset there. And then inhale, reach and extend your right leg back behind you. Activate your right foot. Shift your weight over into your right hand, rise to your left fingertips. Keep this strong activation through your core, and then inhale, elongate your left arm forward in front of you. Reach out through your left fingertips. Inhale to really expand through your left fingertips and reach back through your right toes. Feel your spine lengthen. Exhale, settle into that space. Inhale, really elongate and lengthen. Exhale, feel the stability in that place. Inhale, elongate and lengthen. And this time as you exhale, bend deeply into your right knee and reach your left arm back behind you. So again, you could use a yoga strap wrapping around your foot. You could use a towel. You could just reach toward it without any props, or you could catch a hold of your foot. If you make contact with your hand and your foot or a prop, then kick your foot into your hand or your prop and simultaneously pull back on your foot with your hand. Expand and open your chest forward toward the top of your mat. Feel the expansion and lengthening through your spine along with a simultaneous compression. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, very slowly release your hand and your knee back down to the floor. Restore your neutral tabletop. Lengthen your back body. Reach out through the crown of your head. Lengthen back through your tailbone. And inhale, sweep and extend your left leg back behind you this time. Activate strongly. Shift your weight into your left hand and rise to your right fingertips. Hug in around your belly. And when you feel stable, reach and extend your right arm forward in front of you. Inhale, elongate forward through your right fingertips. Elongate back through your left toe tips. Exhale, settle into that space. Inhale, elongate, draw your arm and your leg apart from each other, lengthen your spine. Exhale, feel the stability within your back body. Inhale, lengthen. And this time as you exhale, bend into your left knee, draw your heel towards your seat, and reach your right arm back behind you. Either reach towards your foot, or loop something around your foot, or catch a hold of your foot. If you make contact between hand and foot, then kick your foot into your hand and simultaneously pull back against the foot with your hand. Let these forces counter each other as you expand and open your chest forward in front of you. Feel the actions happening through your back body as you open into this place of stability. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, gently release. Lower your hand and your knee to the floor and walk your hands forward roughly 1 palm's distance. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes underneath, and then send your sit bones up high to the sky in downward facing dog. So really root down into your hands, lift up out of your shoulders, and elongate your whole back body. Stretch your sit bones high to the sky. You're welcome to bend your knees as much as you'd like here. And focus on the elongation of your back body in this position. Now on your next breath, tiptoe your feet forward about 1 step. Just shorten your stance in your down dog. Again, your knees can be bent as much as you'd like. Elongate your back body and keep that length as you shift your weight into your left hand and rise to your right fingertips. Once you feel stable and steady here, lift your right hand off the floor and bring your right hand to either hold onto your left thigh, your left shin, or perhaps your left ankle, and then spiral and twist your chest open toward the left. Maybe gaze underneath your left armpit. Keep reaching your sitting bones up toward the sky, and from that space that you create in your spine, allow your torso to rotate around that. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, slowly unwind your twist, release your right hand back down to the floor, and shift your weight into your right hand this time. Become light on your left fingertips. When you feel stable and steady, lift your left hand off the floor and bring your hand to hold your right thigh or shin or ankle. And elongate your sitting bones toward the sky, and then from that space you create in your spine, rotate and spin your whole torso toward the right. Maybe gaze underneath your right armpit. Spiral and twist your left lung more open toward the right side of your mat. But all the while, keep the elongation through your back body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly unwind your twist. Release your left hand back down to the floor. Walk your feet back about one step so you return to your neutral down dog position. On an inhale, roll your weight forward into a high plank. Align your shoulders directly over your wrists. As you exhale, soften your knees, let them hover above the floor, and tilt your tailbone up toward the sky as you send your sit bones back up toward the ceiling and elongate your whole back body into downward facing dog. Again, inhale, roll your weight forward into plank. Align your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, bend your knees, let them hover above the floor. Tip your tailbone toward the ceiling, and then send your sit bones high as you elongate your whole back body into downward facing dog. One more time, like a wave. Inhale, roll your weight forward, stack shoulders over wrists. Exhale, bend your knees, hover above the floor, tilt your tailbone toward the sky, and then send your sit bones high as you elongate your whole back body. Inhale, this time roll your weight forward into plank. And exhale, option to lower your knees to the floor or keep them lifted as you lower the weight of your whole body down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Press the tops of your feet firmly into the floor. Press your pubic bone down into the mat. Roll your shoulders down your back. Hug your shoulder blades toward each other. And then energetically draw the heels of your hands back toward your feet. Keep this much action through your arms. Keep this much engagement through your whole center. And inhale, expand your heart first forward. Create length in your spine, and then up. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, slowly release back down to the floor. Keep the engagement through your legs. As you walk your hands out off of your mat and rise to your fingertips, align your elbows directly over your wrists. Press down into the tops of your feet. Lift your kneecaps from the floor. Press your pubic bone down into the mat. Roll your shoulders down your back and gently hug your shoulder blades toward each other. Energetically suction your fingers in toward the center of your palms. And then root down against your hands to inhale, expand your heart first forward to create length, and then up. Elongate your back body as you compress into the spine. Inhale here. Exhale, dip your left shoulder in toward the midline of your mat. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, dip your right shoulder into the midline of your mat. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, slowly release back down to the floor. This time, reach your arms back behind you to rest by your sides. And you're welcome to keep them grounded to the floor, or lift your hands off the floor and either hold onto a strap or a towel, or interlace your fingers behind your back. If you take your arms behind you, roll your shoulders down your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and lift your hands up away from your seat. Root down firmly against your feet, press down against your pubic bone, and inhale, peel your heart forward and up to lift your chest from the floor. Option to stay here, or option to lift your feet from the floor as well. Wherever you are, hug your shoulder blades together, elongate your spine. And from that space of elongation, can you then compress into your back body as you strengthen the muscles on the back of your body? Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, slowly release back down to the floor. This time, stretch your arms forward in front of you to frame out your face. Create the same activation through your legs. Root down firmly into the tops of your feet. Lift your kneecaps from the floor. Press your pubic bone down into the mat. Three-dimensionally draw in around your navel. Root down firmly into your forearms and your legs, and inhale, lift your head from the floor. Option to stay here or keep pressing down into your feet and your pubic bone and lift your head and chest and your arms from the floor. Option to stay here or take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, turn your palms to face the floor and bend your elbows. Draw your hands back toward your shoulders. Maybe lift your chest a little bit higher. Inhale, reach and extend your arms forward in front of you. Exhale, bend your elbows, draw your hands back toward your body. Expand your chest a little bit higher. Inhale, reach your arms forward. Option to do that one more time. Exhale, bend your elbows, draw your hands back toward your shoulders. Expand your chest a little bit higher. And then inhale, reach them forward. Slowly exhale to release all the way back down to the floor. Bend your elbows once again and plant your elbows underneath your shoulders. Draw your forearms roughly parallel and prop yourself up on your forearms. Roll your shoulders down your back, hug your shoulder blades toward each other, expand your chest forward toward the top of your mat. Notice any sensations happening within your back body. Notice any places that might be lengthening, and then any places that might be compressing, contracting, strengthening. On your next breath, tuck all 10 toes underneath. Three-dimensionally draw in around your waistline, hug your navel in and up. Squeeze your legs energetically toward each other and kick back through your heels. And on an inhale, lift your whole body up off the floor, lift your pelvis, lift your legs into a forearm plank. Kick back through your heels, squeeze your legs toward each other, press firmly against your forearms. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, move your hips over toward the right and dip them down to hover above the mat, and then come back to center. On your next exhale, move your hips over toward the left, dip them to hover just above the mat, and then come back to center on an inhale. Exhale, dip your hips toward the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, dip your hips to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Continue moving. Follow your own rhythm of breath. Take one more breath in each direction. Come back to center. Soften your knees to the floor. Untuck your toes. Release the weight of your hips back towards your heels and surrender your upper body forward and down into child's pose. Feel the rounding through your whole back body as you soften and relax it. You're welcome to have your arms forward, or if it feels nice, you can reach your arms back behind you and round your shoulders. Soften into a position here that feels really comforting and relaxing for you. As you allow yourself to release your back body that you just work so hard. So feel free to stay here for as long as you would like. Thank you for sharing your practice.